What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Starfield. So we bought our guns. Let's continue on with the new mission here, the UC mission, Eyewitness. We have to meet Hadrian in New Atlantis right in front of Mast here. Here she is, just waiting. What's up, Hadrian?
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon.
What?
One-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
This is actually a man. I was gonna make a joke before she said that. You're a clone of a man? How's that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
Are there others from your program still out there? Other clones?
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
This Ve Victus must have been a pretty impressive commander for the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians.
So you're a clone of your dad?
And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
That brings Immaculate Conception to a whole new level. What did your father do to merit being executed?
He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him.
Wow, I thought my family was messed up.
Well, my areas of expertise are pretty specific, but messed up families are up there. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Your eyes, they're red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. and the eyes were my parting gift.
It's wild. Are you willing to tell me more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being fleet admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Any suggestions on what I should say to the cabinet?
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terrormorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
So honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terrormorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
All right. Don't have any other questions.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Sure is, sir, ma'am. Ma'am, mister, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Thank you. Cabinet Chambers, Interstellar Affairs.
Pardon?
Hello?
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Hadrian made it clear that addressing the issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terrormorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Terrormorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terrormorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terrormorph seem at all alarming to you?
I only know what I was told. It's tissue-matched ones from Londinian.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
So she said we could tell them the data's not dangerous. Yes, if the fear is the data being weaponized, the Terrormorph program failed. The data is not dangerous.
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to...
Listen to the cabinet? Oh, what the hell?
An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terrormorphs.
Ah, told you guys.
Terrormorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. The nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am.
I mean,
I'm right behind. Let's get down there.
Adrian is not following you. I mean, I had the turret do most of the work, to be honest. Take the Nat to the spaceport. Oh. You guys coming out? Okay. What the hell is going on? Is this thing? Modified Equinox.
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Equip the EM weapon. Equip followers with EM weapons to engage non-lethally.
Big mistake. You've got nothing. Got another one.
Assess the situation at the NAT station.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terrormorphs' influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terrormorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
So does this mean I need to worry about you turning on me?
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terrormorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Are you suggesting Terrormorphs can control someone's mind?
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terrormorph.
If someone comes at me, I'm putting them down.
Well, you better keep that EM weapon loaded then. Now let's move.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Oh, I'm over encumbered? Oh, because I'm thirsty and hungry, okay.
Is it really necessary for you to drag around all that gear?
Sarah, shut up.
What was that?
No time to waste, Captain.
Proceed to the spaceport.
Spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
They blew a hole in this wall here. Or a Terrormorph. Eliminate the Terrormorph, okay. Good thing I got these guns. Let me try... I'll do the mag shot on him. Oh god. Oh god. Out of my way. Let me try my shotgun. Where's that? This thing. Got you, son of a bitch. Approach the officer in charge.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? With whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Speak to the fire team. Okay.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with Terrormorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
And you're sure you're not going to turn on us out there?
We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts.
Watch our backs.
Roger that. We're on you.
Anyone nosing around here's gotta have a death wish.
The more the better for these guys.
See if they've got any weapons or ammo.
Oh, that's a level 6 Terrormorph. I don't have any throwables though. Wow. He almost killed me with one of those little shrieks that he just had. Oh, maybe it was the explosive barrel?
Okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. We have to put down that floor. I'm over here. This is nothing. Don't let me die.
Wow, this thing is brutal.
There's one right there. Kill it. I need a diversion.
Oh, he's down. Over encumbered. Man, I'm always over encumbered, I feel. I'm gonna put this one back on. Has less radiation, but whatever. I'll drop that. Still over encumbered. Probably for all the weapons I have. I'm not gonna use a dagger. Then I have like a... I kind of want to keep all these, to be honest with you. Whatever. Jesus. Come on, somebody help me. Whoa. 25 times. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. How many more do I have? One left.
Let's do this.
133 XP.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
Okay.
micro gun.
Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
You know, oh, is that a minigun? My burns improved. Prognosis is good. Okay. Oh, look at all this ammo.
Why are you bothering to carry all that junk? To discuss.
Oh, hell yeah. Med packs. Treating burns. Ooh. Burns cured. Nice.
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. I guess our people weren't so lucky.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to the bottom of what happened here today.
The Cabinet's already got a plan in place to make sure attacks like this never happen again.
Can't happen soon enough. Thank you.
The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Report to President Abello in the massed cabinet chambers. All right. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Oh yeah, I'm over encumbered. There we go.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Where you going, Sarah?
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes,
Losing
ma'am.
anyone in the line of duty
there you
is
are.
a tragedy.
I believe
These attacks,
we have some things
they
we should
can't
discuss.
happen again.
Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I take my shooting credits, real estate, or luxury goods. I'm just gonna say agreed, thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Wants me? Why not send a diplomat, someone trained for this sort of thing?
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terrormorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
Tell me what I'm getting first and I'll consider it.
The very next item on my list. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
And what do I get for being a UC citizen?
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
Sure. Why not?
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
9,600 bucks.
Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
All right. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. Well, that was pretty cool. We stopped the city from being attacked by the Terrormorphs. We're gonna become a UC citizen, I guess, here pretty soon. But yeah, that was fun. I like that one. We will continue on to the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, see you guys in the next one. Later.